More insights on China's economy and business development under new and optimized COVID prevention measures. We're joined by Zhiqin, Senior Research Fellow at the Chongyang Institute of Finance at Renmin University of China. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Liu, how is the country balancing pandemic control and spurring economic activities now?
Now we can see that the state and the government has tried its best to find a balance point to support the economic recovery. We see that in the past 2 or 3 years that all the business economic development has been really seriously influenced by the pandemic outbreak, especially by the pandemic control in different areas. So the key balancing point is that we know that as a businessman should be busy. How to be busy? They should be running all over the world, all the market, along the market development. So no businessman, no business activities. So activities should be activated by policy support. At this moment, we see them mobilizing this circulating and the maneuvering of the business should be promoted again and again. In this way that all these shops and factories and also goods logistics can be really transported and circulated freely as before. That can make the dynamic development of the economic recovery. This is very important for our at the moment situation, because we need a lot of efforts to further support this business activities. Only by doing so that our economic recovery can be fulfilled in the short term.
What measures can be taken now to help consumer market recover?
I think the consumer market is very important for our economic recovery. As we know that recovery of this consumer market is based on the consumers' enthusiasm and also their freedom and the liberalization of this market. By doing so that we can see big opportunities we are facing also together with the challenges. But the consumer market will need a lot of external and additional measures, not only of the smaller size or smaller scope of this liberalizing of this outbreak control. We need a huge maximum that the disadvantages of this consumer power of China, because we have more than 400 million people. They are waiting for a better life. They are waiting for high quality consumption. So in doing so that I think we need a lot of some new policy. We have already 16 financial support policies, so 21 policies and guidelines for smaller business for foreign investment, but they need a lot of new policies to support consumption resumption.
Right. And what are the key challenges that small businesses and those vendors are facing now? What help do they need?
Two things must be emphasized. First thing is that we should change the uncertainty into certainty, because the major challenge in the past is the uncertainty of the market, because people do not know what could be happening the day next because of the pandemic control. So the uncertainty was the major challenge for the entrepreneur and the economic development. But nowadays we are facing new policies that we have more opportunities to get certainty from the policy support. And secondly, of course, is everything is important that confidence. When we have confidence that I think the small businessmen and the vendors, they are having a very positive, very optimistic the expectation of the market. As we know that in China, the expectation is also within the very safety and the forecasted range. So this is the basic line for China. As we know, as we always say, that the so-called dynamic zero policy has been already fulfilled totally, because the death rate is almost zero. So this is the major point of what we have achieved. So I think we have no other reason than to continue the tough regulation and control of pandemic as before. We should liberalize and give more freedom to the market when we are talking open the market. So we should always have the policy how to support openness, inclusiveness, and the further development of our economic recovery.
Thank you for your insights. That's Mr. Liu Zhiqin, Senior Research Fellow of Chongyang Institute of Finance at Renmin University of China. Now, the second part of the 15th meeting of the Conference of the Parties to the UN Convention on Biological Diversity, also known as COP15, is going to begin in Montreal, Canada on Wednesday. China, which holds the presidency over COP15, continues to chair the meeting. The most widely expected result is the passage of the post-2020 Global Biodiversity Framework. The framework sets new goals for global biodiversity protection in the next decade and beyond. It's aimed at putting biodiversity on a path to recovery by 2030 and ultimately realizing the 2050 vision of living in harmony with nature.